We welcome you back, ladies and gentlemen. That was the scene in Ferguson last night on the anniversary, big anniversary of the shooting death of Michael Brown. Joining us now is David Swerdlick, assistant editor at the PostEverything at the Washington Post. Hello, David.
Hey, Steve. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. Thanks for coming on. Okay, so first of all, the media and many on the left celebrating this anniversary of Michael Brown's death and like memorializing him. And the guy was a thug who was legitimately killed by a cop he beat on. Please explain this to me.
Look, Steve, I've been one who has said I think Michael Brown was an unusual case to be the sort of centerpiece of a movement. In my view, you could have had this movement start a few weeks earlier with the killing of Eric Garner in Staten Island. We had videotape of that incident. So I understand what you're saying, but this is really whether people think that Michael Brown was killed legitimately or not.
But wait a minute, what do you mean people think?
Hold on.
He was killed legitimately.
Before I get to that, Steve, what I want to say is I think what's clear is that Ferguson and Michael Brown's killing was where this movement really went from sort of a low boil to a full-blown Black Lives Matter movement.
Because of the lies, David. Because of the lies. Hands up, don't shoot, which were lies. It's built on lies, and it glorifies a thug. That's what you want your movement based on?
Well, first of all, it's not my movement, and second of all, I understand the question. But look, again, the opponents or the skeptics of Black Lives Matter, I wonder if the question could be asked differently, Steve, and say, look, okay, if people were to stipulate that Michael Brown wasn't an innocent victim, would then the skeptics of Black Lives Matter acknowledge all the other innocent victims? Eric Garner,
Eric Garner was not an innocent. Excuse me, David. That case has been adjudicated. And Eric Garner, who resisted arrest, was not an innocent victim who was murdered. The police, according to the grand jury, acted appropriately. And according to the black sergeant who was standing there, they acted appropriately. So, you're making it up.
No, Steve, I'm not making this up. Look, that matter's been adjudicated. The Staten Island DA declined to prosecute. That's fine. That's in the books. That's over and done with. In my view, having watched that tape, Eric Garner was victimized by police violence. And number two, the fact that the police sergeant on the scene was an African-American woman, as we've talked about on your show before, makes no difference. In my view, she should have been fired for her role or her failure to intervene in that situation.
David, you saw one tape. They saw 5 different videos, heard from 50 different witnesses, and yet you think you know better than them?
In this case, yes.
Okay, fair enough. I don't know how, but okay. You say Black Lives Matter. Did you see what these people did? 2 of them, three of them, to Bernie Sanders? Let's watch.
We are going to let you on the mic. Okay. All right, so we are trying to be reasonable. We are trying to be reasonable. We are trying to be reasonable.
We are reasonable.
We are trying. We're going to let you on the mic. We are going to give you the mic.
Let us speak.
We will after Senator Sanders.
All right, so these thugs come up and raid the stage where Bernie Sanders was speaking. Nobody's arrested. Apparently, he had no Secret Service. He had no security, and there were no cops. If there were, they let them vent, which is anarchy. They should have been put under arrest for threatening, for disrupting, for disturbing the peace. Instead, they got the microphone. This is anarchy, David.
So, Steve, first of all, I'll just point out that the Black Lives Matter protesters did the same thing to Reverend Sharpton at one of his events last year. No. I'm only bringing that up to say that it's not just directed at Bernie Sanders purely. But I agree with you that he should have Secret Service. I agree with you that the police should have provided better security. And you didn't say this yet, but I think I agree with you that this is not the appropriate time or place for the Black Lives Matter protesters to essentially try to grab the microphone away from Sanders. I haven't done the reporting yet, Steve, to know whether they've presented candidate Sanders, Senator Sanders, with a list of demands or a position or a policy statement. And if they have, and if he hasn't responded to it, then I sort of understand that they want to bring some attention to it.
We got 10 seconds. Should they have been arrested?
I don't know enough about the particulars.
All right, David, I got to go.
I doubt Sanders would press charges.
All right, listen, my friend, thank you very much. We'll speak to you soon. All right, folks, up next, Give Me 5. But first, Donald Trump is surging in the polls, and so does the popularity surge of the cap. The Donald. That's right, it's a cap. It's a baseball cap called the Donald. He's made it famous with his Make America Great Again slogan. You've seen it on his head. Now you can get your very own Make America Great Again cap, a $25 value free with this offer. Just pay shipping and handling. Go to Newsmax.com/Trump or call 1-800-485-4350. Newsmax.com/Trump. Get your cap.